So here we have their pickup truck. He's on the right-hand side. His father's driving. They're going north on Highway 285, and they encounter these MPs telling them you're not supposed to go westbound off 285. Now, again, if this is a weather balloon, what would be the need?
Right.
Weather balloons are launched daily from the base.
Right.
They come around, they land on ranches, and it's no big deal. So to misidentify something as a weather balloon and cause this commotion doesn't make any sense at all.
And the world press now is eating up Roswell.
Absolutely.
They're all over it.
The town certainly is.
Yeah.
And eventually it spread out. Once the news release was released, once they had the heading that they found a flying saucer, then yes, it blew up.
Because in all the other stories of down crafts, 42 and 38 and those, there's really nothing.
They didn't announce anything, no.
No, you know. But Roswell, for some reason, just was the epic moment of they're here. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like,
At least the craft was talked about, yes, that they recovered a flying disc. That's what they called it. Now, let's go to the next drawing. And here you can see our witness with his father. And this is Highway 285 heading northbound. And you've got these military police stopping them, preventing them from going any further.
yeah, I've never seen these. I've never seen this design or these drawings before. This is pretty cool.
Yep. So we're trying to do a little.
And Rudy's doing all these.
Yep. We got world exclusive here. So.
Okay.
But you can imagine running into this as a young boy, and your father's driving, and what's all the commotion?
Yeah.
It's just a weather balloon. Why do they care?
Right. Right.
What would be the point, right? Let's continue on. Roswell Main Street convoy, July 8th, 1947. And we have got it down to plus or minus 15 minutes. We know it's 4 p.m. We've got two paper boys that saw the convoy go down Main Street, which you can follow today. Multiple eyewitnesses saw multiple Jeeps, an 18-wheeler tractor trailer, lowboy truck with a tarp and an egg-shaped craft, about 13 feet across, maybe 8 feet high. And we have another witness that saw something interesting. Let's go to the next slide here. Okay, here's our full color rendering, July 8th, 1947. They're heading toward the base now. There was no other way to get there.
Right.
They had to go somewhere, so they covered this thing up with a tarp. They went right down Main Street. So if you and I go there today, you could follow the same path that the convoy followed back in 1947.
That's pretty cool.
Same exact place. Now, next thing I want to go to is there was an interesting gentleman. He was on a roofing job, very close to the convoy going by.
I've never heard of
So
this.
he's way up on this building, looking down on the scene at a 45-degree angle. From his perspective, he had a very interesting view. Okay, he could see some debris sticking out of the bottom of the tarp that wasn't covered up. So not only did he see the craft covered up, but he saw some remaining debris. When we go to that drawing, here he is right here. A local roofer was on the job when the military convoy passed down Main Street in Roswell. From his unique perspective, he could see unknown debris exposed from under the tarp.
Wow.
Yep.
I've never heard this.
That's why we're here.
Do you have his name? Like,
We do have his name.
okay.
Don Schmidt has his name. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So he got to see the craft and the debris.
Wow.
Okay. In addition to the two paper boys and dozens of other witnesses
Sure.
that saw it.
And it's around 4 o'clock.
Right.
This is all happening.
This is all happening.
The military, I don't understand this move other than we can't get the truck stuck in a dirt road, a muddy
Correct.
road.
Correct.
So we have to just kind of just parade it right down. What are they thinking?
Well, they did. They did.
Okay.
Now, if this is a weather balloon, why would you cover it with a tarp?
Yeah.
And why do you need an 18-wheeler?
Right.
You could put that in the back of a Jeep.
Right.
Okay, so we're really destroying the balloon theories here.
Sure.
Okay, now we've got this other witness. Let's
I've
go
never
to
heard of this roof.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Oh, yeah.
great.
Oh, yeah. All right, so the convoy pulls into the base. This is Roswell Army Airfield. This is July 1947. So now we're talking about 4:15 p.m., July 8th, 1947. They went to hangar P3 Building 84, but went around the back side. So what you're looking in this illustration is the egg-shaped craft off to the right
Okay.
on the 18-wheeler tractor trailer lowboy truck. You've got the child-sized caskets in the upper left. Just back of that, you've got the ambulance truck. You've got the 6x6 troop transport with the debris that was recovered. In the foreground center, you've got the bodies laid out on the hangar floor. In the background to the left, we've got the crate that they started building. So this is all going on. There's a lot of commotion going on. We believe at least one body flight was already sent out in a C-54. So lots of commotion going on here.
So let me ask you this: the mortician that was
Yes.
asked to make the boxes or bring the boxes for the
Yes.
child-size unalived aliens, is he in here?
No, he's not in.
He doesn't make it in.
No.
He's just
He
asked.
never made it to the hangar.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
All right. So how does he witness the bodies? Do we know that?
The only thing that we can possibly confirm is that he did take the calls.
Okay.
He did take the calls for the child-sized castings.
All right.
Yep. All right, so we're going to go to the next slide here. The Daily Advertiser, February 9th, 1994. Quote, we know that everything that was recovered was brought to Hangar 84, which still stands today. You can go there,
Right.
okay? I've been in this hangar. I took photographs. I'm going to take your audience, Tony, into this hangar,
All right.
okay? At Roswell Air Base, Schmidt said, we know that people who saw this material have been threatened, okay? No doubt. Have been bribed, and to this day are still scared to talk about just what they saw. Even to this day.
That's 70 years ago.
Well beyond it now.
Yeah. Well. Okay. All right. I wouldn't have a problem talking about it if I was the guy that was getting ready to kick off. I'm like, oh yeah, I saw it all. I was right there. You know?
So you can see that home base for everything was the hangar.
Hangar 84.
Hangar 84. Hangar P3 Building 84.
And it's still in operation, or
it's still there today.
all right.
Right.
Wait, now is that the one that Elvis used to put his plane
I
in?
don't think Elvis's plane was ever there, but it was at the center there.
Okay.
It's a maintenance reclamation center now.
Okay. all
It's
right.
not a military base.
I know that Elvis used to park his plane at one.
Yeah, his 4-engine jet aircraft used to be parked there. Yes,
Oh,
for like 40 years.
Really?
Mhm,
Okay.
Yep. All right, next one. Roswell Army Airfield Hangar P3 Building 84 at the Roswell Air Center now. That's what it's called. So what you're looking at is the exact hangar where the bodies in the craft were taken back in July 1947. It still stands. Here's the other view. This is what it looks like on the backside. You can kind of see the water tower peeking over the ridge of the hangar there. I'm going to talk about that water tower.
So this would be July 7th or 8th at this point.
This is the 8th, July 8th, 1947.
All military actions taking place here. They're filling it up.
This is headquarters for the whole operation.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Yep. All right, so we're going to go inside the hangar now. I'm going to show you the interior. This is what it looks like inside. Now, when I went to talk to the general manager of this facility, he said that when they originally built it, it was only supposed to be a structure temporarily there for 10 years. And here we are in 2025, and it's still standing today.
Amazing.
Yep.
So at that time, what kind of military planes would they have kept there?
B-29s.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the 509th Bomb Group. This is the outfit that put the bombs in Hiroshima, Nagasaki. They came from here.
Wow.
The only 509th atomic bomb group in the United States and the world at the time. So this is the center of it all. You know,
Jeez.
you can tell that everybody associated with this space had to be the best of the best. They had to have a top secret security clearance. That's why when you have testimony from these people, they were already trusted with our nuclear weapons. Why not more so with the other things that they tell us?
Right.
You know,
Right.
why we trusted them with nuclear weapons. Why would we not trust them when they talk about this? So you can kind of get your sense of the commotion, the chaos that was going on inside this hangar. Let's go to the next one. This is a little bit different view off to the left. You got some engine test stands in here. We'll do one more. This is off to the far left. And then I'm going to take one more where I believe the bodies were laid down. So I want to take you plus or minus 12 inches to where the bodies were laid down. And that's this shot right here.
Wow.
Center of the hangar. There was a light shining down, laid out the bodies at this location right here.
Golly.
So you can imagine standing here thinking what went on back in 47.
Wow. Can you imagine that? Like right there, 5 of them. Right? Is it 5, 8?
Well, at
alive?
least 4.
At least
There
4.
was a survivor.
God, I'm a young, let's say I'm an 18, 20-year-old
Yeah.
MP, and
Right.
I'm looking at this going, oh, yep, there's life on there's other life.
Your worldview would be challenged.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, how do you sleep with that at that time?
Yeah.
You know, that must have been just shocking for them. And not only that, but they can't talk about it. They're threatened if they do. I mean, it just goes all the way down.
These are battle-hardened first-class military pilots.
the 509.
The 509th. Okay.
509.
All right. Let's continue on
Yep.
here. Now we want to talk about this gentleman, and I think it's very interesting what this guy said here. Lieutenant Governor of New Mexico, Joseph Montoya. He plays a big role in our story here. Why? Okay. Because he was at this water tower. Okay. He called up two friends from the base of this water tower. And he said the following. So I'm going to stay on this picture for about 5 more seconds. I want everyone to think about this man, Joseph Montoya, standing at the base of this water tower in shock, in horror, white as a ghost, just absolutely destroyed. And he's just standing there, okay? Now, a little bit prior to, he calls on the phone Peter Anaya and Ruben Anaya, friends of his. He calls them on the phone and he says the following: "Come and get me now. I'm at the water tower. Come on, let's go. Let's get the hell out of here." Okay? When they come pick him up, they put him in the back seat and he says, "I need a drink right now. You'll never believe it. You'll never believe it. Oh my God, oh my God." They weren't human. Okay? He was shown wreckage and the bodies inside the hangar, and it absolutely shocked his world. And this is a lieutenant governor of New Mexico at the time.
Wow.
This is his testimony. We have it from these two guys who picked him up at the base of the water tower. You know, like, get me out of here right now.
Yeah, I guess.
Right now.
I guess you would experience it mostly at that time.
He was shocked.
I think society today wouldn't really react like that because we see so much of it now,
True,
you
true.
know? But at that time in 47,
Even today, we could have a reaction like that.
Yeah,
Even
I
with
think-
all the drip and the acclimation process through movies, television, magazines, newspaper articles, even after all the pumping that they've done on this to acclimate the public accordingly,
yeah.
what they say, I still think we might get a reaction like that.
I think there's a percentage
possible.
that's desensitized, and you know, I'm one of those guys. I think, you know, like I said before, if an AT walked in here, you know, I'd be like, "Hey, what's going on? Can I get you something to drink?" You know, I'm hoping that day comes where we can live with them.
Right.
But right now, we still have to wonder. You know, people. Keep going.
The acclimation process has done its job to its fullest extent at this time.
Right.
There's really not much more they can do
So
at this point.
he was just blown away.
He was blown away. He was blown away.
He couldn't
You know,
believe it.
I'm sure, Tony, you're right. We will probably have a better reaction now through the decades, okay? But
Right.
there is gonna be a small percentage of people that just can't handle it.
Sure.
They just can't.
I agree
it's a
with you.
fact. It's a
I agree.
fact. It's a small percentage, but let's continue on. But the fact that he said, oh my God, they weren't human. He got to see the bodies.
Right.
He got to see the bodies. Let's continue on here. So here we have the preliminary autopsy at the base hospital. Okay. You've got these stench decomposing bodies. There were people throwing up inside the hospital. Nurses got sick. We have to call it like it is. This is what went down. However gruesome it sounds, this is how it went down.
Wow.
So we've got the autopsy, preliminary autopsy at the base hospital. I'm going to go to the next slide here. And here's our full color rendering. A much more advanced autopsy, we believe, took place at Wright Field, Dayton, Ohio, the Aero Medical Lab, sometime after July 19th, 1946.